My day begins well before most people are out of bed. All the long days and sleepless nights drive me to be the best. We absolutely slayed them in here. Alright, let's get up here and we'll turn them loose. You've got the place tore up. The sun's going down. We got one more farm to hit. That's the commitment there.
You can turn them up. This is 8. Pretty good odds.
We're good at what we do. This is my story. This is my time. This is trapping time.
Trapping Time is brought to you by Blind Turtle at blindturtle.net, Smokey's Deer Lures at smokiesdeerlure.com, Blackwater Hunting Services at blackwaterhunting.com, Southern Ohio Outfitters at southernohiooutfitters.com, Papio Creek Trapping Supply at papiocreektrappingsupply.com, Big Game Gut Club at biggamegutclub.com, Hunters Help Technologies at huntershelp.com, Night Owl Lures at nightowllures.com, Hilltop Outdoor Supply at hilltopoutdoorsupply.com, Dakota Line Snares at dakotalinesnares.com, PCS Outdoors at pcsoutdoors.com, Duke Trap Company at duketraps.com, Old South Trapping Lures at oldsouthLures.com, Webster's Predator Control at shop.websterspredatorcontrol.com, Little Whiskey Girl at littlewhiskeygirl.com, Wolf Creek Products at wolfcreekproducts.net, Southern Snares and Supply at southernsnares.com, Lennon Lures at lennonlures.com, Murray's Trapping Supply at murrayslures.com, Smitty's Stretchers and Trapping Supplies. Look them up on Facebook. Hags Brand Trapping Products by J3 Outdoors at j30.com.
You know, coon trapping really has a special place in my heart. You know, it's no secret that when I got started trapping, you know, that's what I went after. I can remember that half dozen of Victor traps that my dad bought for me. I'm first generation trapper. You know, I came from a family of coon hunters, which any of you guys out there have hounds, you know that trapping and coon hunting just do not mix. So it was a stretch when I finally got my dad talked into giving me some traps. You know, I focused on coons for a lot of reasons. There was a lot of them. You know, they seemed really easy to catch, and you know, back in the 90s, a big coon was bringing around $20. And you take a kid 16 years old in high school that's mowing grass for $5 an hour, you go whack a coon and you get, you know, 20 bucks for him. That's a pretty good payday. You know, as I went through the years, my style of trapping had changed. You know, when I first got started trapping, everything I did was off foot. You know, but as I learned that if I was going to catch coons in any type of numbers, I was going to have to hit the roads, I was going to have to travel and cover as much ground as possible. Then the invention of the DP trap came along, which changed the whole industry of coon trapping. It made things faster, it made it easier. This week we're going to concentrate on my Pennsylvania line, and I'm going to show you how we're going to trap coons on these little feeder streams. We're going to be trapping close to the road because it's all about speed and efficiency when you're wanting to put up large numbers of coon. Now we're in the late season, and these coons, they like to work these little streams. There's an old logging road right here, and anytime I'm setting DPs, I want to set them where I can check them really, really fast. I don't have time to be even unloading the quad and riding around. If I'm going to concentrate on coons, I want to be able to hit them hard and hit them fast. As you can see, I actually caught 2 here. I used a Duke DP with a simple cable setup, and I baited it with some Southern Snares Bandit Buster. Very easy. It's a pelleted style bait, and we caught a little one here. We're probably going to release him. I caught a bigger one back there that I seen. If it's not a sow, I'm going to take it. If it's a sow, we're going to release it. But very simple setup. This time of year, these coons are using these feeder streams. You know, it's warmed up on us. You know, this is late December. We're a couple days before Christmas here, and these coons, they're moving now. We're supposed to be in the 60s the next probably 4 or 5 days. These nights are warmer. they're going to be on the move trying to get some food. But these simple little streams like this, you don't need big bodies of water to catch high numbers of coon. You know, I always set 2 traps. I always bait them with 2 different things normally. Give them 2 different smells coming down through there. I actually had coon collector in the other DP, but it's a lot of fun. We're saving a lot of turkey eggs. Like this year, coon prices are down. But we still got to be out there. We got to keep these numbers in check. So very, very simple setup, fast. I probably didn't have 3 minutes in this whole setup, and I caught 2 coons. Well, I've got 2 of them within 20 feet. I need to take a closer look and see if they're worth keeping. When we come back, I'm going to show you the remakes. If you're serious about putting paws on your pans, try Fresh Louisiana Crawfish Bait by Papio Creek. Go check them out at PapioCreekTrappingSupply.com.
For some of us, trapping season never ends. It's in our blood. It defines the very person we are. Let Southern Snares be part of your trapping world. Be sure to try out our best-selling Capital Punishment Predator Bait and our new Pure Gator Oil.
The Big Game Gut Glove is revolutionizing the way big game hunters and trappers are successful in the field. The 26-inch version fits over your elbows and protects you and your expensive hunting clothing from blood or cold water. They're made to fit your hands from extra small to extra large.
What I like about them, I can feel with them.
Existing products on the market don't give you the feel or protection you need. Wet or dry, the special non-slip grip bonds tightly to whatever you're handling. The Big Game Gut Gloves are reusable so you save money and promote going green. Who better to get your trapping supplies from than trappers who know what you need in the field?
Come on in.
PCS Outdoors is one-stop shopping for name brand trapping, predator hunting and calling supplies, shooting and pest control gear at discount prices.
A lure for every animal you'd be targeting.
PCS Outdoors stands above the competition.
Quality Asabo brand snares being made here in Michigan.
Go to PCSOutdoors.com for great selection and prices that'll make you want to stock up for your next trapping or outdoor adventure.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we're pulling coons off the creek here in western Pennsylvania. Now let's get back to the action. We're going to yank this coon out here so we can get a good look at him if he wants to come out. He's back in this hole. But we're going to release him, get him out of here. We're going to release him, rebait this trap up. Our main target on this line are the mature boar coons. You know, we're looking at coons that are going to stretch out at like a large, extra large, or even bigger. That's where the money's at. You know, in a year like we have right now where the fur market's down, coons are usually at the bottom because they are easily caught. You have hound hunters out chasing them. That's going to keep the price down because supply and demand. When they have an overabundance and you don't have no place to get them, it's going to keep the price down. But the fur buyers are going to be selective because that's the coon that they're looking for. They usually have a little nicer coat. They're a little bit bigger. They stretch out a little bit nicer. One thing about the DPs that makes it nice is we can release the sows. I mean, think about it. The sows are the ones that are going to give you coons every year. You know, you keep taking the boars out, which are the ones that are going to travel and are a little more aggressive, but we're going to let the sows go so they can make more babies. You know, the time of year that we're focused on is this is the breeding season, you know, so the boars are traveling, they're breeding the sows. It's just like hunting deer, you know. We usually hunt the deer after the rut. You know, the bucks already breed the does before we start gun hunting them, and there's a reason for that. They want to make sure the does are pregnant before they take the buck out of the whole gene pool. We're doing the same thing with coons. Now, we like the larger size, like I said before, because of the price. Let's let them little guys go. It's not even worth even shooting them or even taking them out of the gene pool because you're not going to get any type of premium for them. So it's better off, let them grow another year, harvest them next year, and it's a renewable resource. Harvest them next year, and you'll get your money's worth out of it. Now we're going to rebait this up, and we're using the Bandit Buster. I put some in my hand here, and we're just going to load it down in there. Now I don't like, a lot of guys will fill them all the way to the top. I don't like that, only because I want this trigger to work. You know, these coons, when they reach in here, they're going to get a hold of it. So I just want it deep enough, get it right underneath the trigger. I'm taking, hook it back up, and this trap's ready. We're going to put it right back in the same exact spot. Caught one there. There's a good chance we'll catch another one. Coon trapping made simple right there. All right, now we got us a young boar coon right here. He's pretty decent size. He'll probably make extra large. We're gonna take him because like this year, with coon prices being what they are, that they're gonna be very selective on the grade. This coon here, he'll make a really nice fur, and he's worth taking out of here. Why the concentration on the feeder streams? The reason I like to concentrate on them is for a couple reasons. One, they usually have sandy banks. You can get an idea of what kind of population you're dealing with because of the tracks. Two, food. Raccoons will eat about anything. And you take these little, even these little mountain streams as we'll call them, they've got crayfish, they've got minnows. I mean, there's so much food there that getting a meal, they don't have to go very far. That's why a lot of times their dens are right along the streams. Now this time of year, coon are starting to run in pairs, even threes. So when I'm going to set up a stream like this, I'm going to put out 2 DPs. And when those 2 DPs, I'm going to put 2 different kinds of bait. Now a lot of times I'll put the traps within 15 to 20 feet of each other because I want to make sure that those coon, they pass by both of them. It's just like when you go to a buffet. You may go past the eggs to get to the bacon. And that's a lot of times that's what's going to happen with the coon. But when you've got a chance of catching multiple coon and it being easy like it is, we're going to set their traps up so we have a chance to catch multiples. We're probably only 15-20 yards from the other trap. But like I said, I just want to take and check, make sure our trigger's still working good. We're going to take our bandit buster back in here. Like I said, don't make it any harder than what it is. The key to catching coons numbers is speed and efficiency. DP's reset, back in the ground, we're ready to rock, and it's out, it's on to the next one. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to hook up with my good buddy Jason Webster for the Duke Trap Company Set of the Week.
What do you demand in a quality knife? You want a knife that works as hard as you do. Weeby knives are made for trappers who want efficiency and perfection. The Weeby Elite double-edged fleshing knife has one edge that's ultra sharp, and the other side has just the right edge for pushing fat and meat for perfectly fleshed furs. And don't forget about the Weeby Wicked Sharp, the planet's sharpest skinner. When the blade goes dull, simply snap on a new one, you're ready to go. Find them at DakotaLineSnares.com.
Where'd you get all that stuff? DakotaLineSnares.com. I bet it cost you a fortune to ship all that. Nope, not DakotaLineSnares.com. It's $9.95. Flat rate, it doesn't matter what you get.
Dakota Line Snares and Trapping Products has everything you need right at your fingertips. Our warehouse is packed with trapping supplies you need to be successful on your trap line, and with flat rate shipping of $9.95 on all orders, you get your money's worth.
Hey, what are you doing? I'm going to put my order in at DakotaLineSnares.com now.
You take every step to make sure your hunt is safe. Now, take safety to the next level and make sure your field dressing is as safe as the hunt. Hunters Help Technologies has found a way to make sure your post-hunt responsibilities are as safe as possible. The Easy Gut tool helps you get the chest cavity open without cutting anything but that skin that you want to cut. The trachea cutter does just what it says. You just reach into the chest cavity and punch right through that tough trachea. No more fumbling with a knife to try to avoid cutting yourself in the process. You can find all our products at huntershelp.com.
Welcome back. Now we're going to join up with my good friend Jason Webster from Webster's Predator Control, and we're headed to Mississippi. He's going to show us one of his techniques that he likes to use for coon that'll work anywhere in the country on this week's Duke Trap Company Set of the Week.
We're trapping here in central Mississippi. We come down here originally to target beaver and otter, but one thing about it, you get in areas like this, there's also a good place to pick up raccoons. We've got a coon here in a Duke DP. This is a lot different than what we have up home. I mean, back home, most of the areas that you're going to try to target coon, you're going to be on ridges, crop change lines. But down here, you get in a lot of these bottom and wetlands like this. It's a prime place to try to pick up some of your coons too. But we're going to get this one dispatched and get this set remade, and hopefully we catch something else. All right, well, we got that coon dispatched. What we're going to do now is remake the set. The trap that I'm using is a Duke DP. Very well built trap. Never had any problems with them. And then we use extension cables just because they're fast and easy. Something you can have them already set up to the trap at home, so when you hit the field, you can save some time. You just wrap them off to a good sized log or a tree, cinch them down, and you're ready to go with them. The biggest thing about DPs, they're supposed to be fast. So anything you can do to try to speed up your coon trapping, especially when we're out here otter and beaver trapping, trying to throw into these to pick up a couple extra furs. Definitely don't want to go trapping without them. And show you how I set this up basically. What I do is I buy these marshmallows from Walmart. I buy the strawberry ones just for a little bit extra added scent. Same price as the white ones. And just kind of fold that trigger up, and you want to push that marshmallow down in there and just spear it through that marshmallow, and then just tuck it down in there. And as you can see, I mean, doesn't it impair the trigger movement at all, but it gives that coon something when he's reaching in there for him to be able to grab a hold of and feel it a little more. And then get this set, and then just want to push that straight in the ground. You want that to where that coon can't knock that over and then get to playing with it where he accidentally sets it off. You want it solid enough that when he pulls that trigger, it moves, the trap doesn't so much. Put a little bit of our coon pellet bait down in here. Doesn't take much. Just get a little bit above the trigger. And then we have a smoky shellfish sauce. Just kind of dribble it around and give a little bit of added scent. And then a trail scent going up the trail just to slow him down when he comes through here and get him looking. That's basically about it. Hopefully we'll have one tomorrow.
You know, throughout that segment, you kept hearing Jason refer to up home, up home. Well, up home for us is about 15 hours north in southwestern Pennsylvania. You know, Mississippi's a whole lot different than what we're experiencing back home, but it just proves that Jason's techniques will work any part of the country. I like to use DP traps because it keeps my incidental catches to a minimum. You know, I love the Duke style DP. It's a pull style trigger, so whatever animal gets caught by it actually has to reach down, grab a hold of the trigger, pull it up, trap gets a hold of it. Unlike when I was in Mississippi and I was using leg holds on my beaver line, and what a surprise I got at the end of my drowning rig. Well, we're in Mississippi. I finally made it down here. We're kind of targeting beavers and otters. And yesterday, being from the north, we don't experience any of this. This water was probably a foot and a half higher than what it is now. So we set a lot of 330s, and a lot of them got plugged up because of water drop. But we set up a drowning rig right here, and God knows what we're going to catch on, if anything. And we caught a coon. A coon stumbled into this drowning set. Number 4 Duke's a little overkill on the coon, but well, that's a first. Of all the beaver trapping to have a coon stumble into a caster round set. Little bore. We'll reset it, do some adjustments and stuff, but at least I'm not getting skunked in Mississippi like I did when I was down here turkey hunting. So, all right, we're gonna remake this set. Get all this stuff back up here. It's a pretty simple setup. I'm using 3/32 cable, and we're using the swivel that comes stock with the trap as our drowning rig. We're gonna throw this back out here. Try to keep it tight, that way you don't have to worry about the cable kinking. And we're gonna take in, now the water level's dropped, so I'm gonna move all this stuff back down again and rebed our trap and make a new caster mount. It doesn't really matter what you catch, you still gotta reset your trap. This coon kind of fouled up our beaver set, so we come back in here. We're gonna have to move everything now because the water's messed everything up. We came in with our shovel and we dug a little bit of a shelf here. We want to make, just like when you're land trapping, you want to make sure that trap's bedded as solid as you can get it. You don't want it teetering. When these beavers come up, you want it solid. They plant their feet and get caught. And chances are this water's probably gonna move again, with my luck. Now if you see I had some little bit of fencing where I tried to direct them up in, I'm gonna pull it and put it back down here to try to give them a little bit. You don't have to go crazy with it, just enough to kind of change your direction a little bit. We just want to try and force them on there. That's one thing nice about beaver. They're not overly smart, so you can get them to do what you want if you can keep the coons out of their sets. I grabbed a bunch of leaves and mud out of the bottom, and we're going to take some Castor Master here from Night Owl. We're going to put it in there, and that should be all it takes. Hopefully we get a beaver coming down through here wanting to check out this new castor smell, and we'll get a beaver instead of a raccoon. When we come back, we're going to hit my line up home and see if we can put another coon in the back of the truck.
The trophy moment only lasts a couple of seconds, but the story will be passed on for generations. They only see the glory, not the sacrifice. But I don't wait for my tall tale of glory. I handcraft my journey from start to finish. They don't see what goes on behind closed doors. An epic saga is worth 1,000 words, but my story boils down to 3. Little Whiskey Girl. Save luck for the weekend hunter.
Do you need a blind that will keep you warm on a cold winter day? Do you need a blind that won't blow away on a windy fall afternoon? Do you need a blind that will never wear out? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you need a Blind Turtle hardshell hunting blind. This solid one-piece unit is perfect for deer hunters, turkey hunters, archery hunters, and gun hunters. Put it this way, if you hunt, the Blind Turtle is perfect for you.
Now we got a couple DPs. I love sitting along these little streams like this for one reason and one reason only. That's where you catch your big coons. Now we've had nothing but rain the last couple of days. I mean, they're hammering down, and we still got more coming. But I've got a DP set there. This is a standard Duke DP, and I got one up here. This place always produces for me every year.
This set here is just one of my typical coon sets, you know. I'm probably 30, 40, maybe 60 yards off the road, off a little feeder stream. You know, it's fast, I can get to them, I can check the traps. A lot of times, I don't have to go very far off the road to even check them. You know, speed and efficiency is what you want when you really want to put up coon numbers. We're using our simple setup that we always use with just our 4 foot of cable looped through our DP. Simple setup. I like these little feeder streams. You don't have to trap big water if you want to catch coon. These little feeder streams like this is feeding into a little bit bigger creek, but where I'm from, we just don't have these huge bodies of water. So we got to take advantage of these little streams. These coons working up through here for these crayfish and even sometimes minnows. But that's where you usually catch your big coons at on these ones here, because it seems like the mothers and the kits are always working the big water. But this is a really great coon. We were using Smokey's raccoon bait. It's a smear bait. A lot of times you can smear it on logs and different things like that. I like putting it in the bottom of these DPs. These coons will work it, they get caught, and it's got a great flavor to it. But this is just a simple setup. I mean, if you want to target big coons and you don't have a lot of big water like we do in the Northeast up here, this is a perfect tactic to do that with. You know, it never gets old seeing those big boar coons bouncing in the trap. Now you want to make sure with these DPs that all your triggers work, because if they're not working, you're gonna have a hard time catching a coon. So we're gonna take our DP. I usually just like to carry find me a little stick here. Now with Smokey's bait, it is a smear bait, so we're just gonna take it down in here. It doesn't take a lot. You gotta remember that you want to try to get the most money for your baits. I mean, that's not a whole lot there. Maybe a teaspoon, maybe a little less. You're just gonna take and put it down in there. What I like to do, once I get it in the bottom, I want to make sure I get some on that trigger. So we'll just scrape that off. Get as much on the trigger as you can get. My theory is if I can get it underneath the trigger, he's got to reach underneath it to get it. All right, we're below the trigger. I'll squeeze it, set it, put it back in the ground. We're back in business again. Just a little simple tip for if you're running for coons here in the Northeast like I am, where you just don't have the big water to catch the big numbers, but you want to catch quality coons. Focus on these little feeder streams, because I'm telling you what, you're missing out. You can
catch them. They're close to the road. I'm probably not 50, 60 yards from the road right now, maybe a little bit farther. Get permission first, and you can really pile the coons up because you don't have a lot of time in it. Trap back in the ground, and we're out.
I want to thank you guys for joining me today. I had a lot of fun showing you my coon line. You know, I would urge everybody, you know, if you're out there trapping, whether it be land or water, throw out some coon sets. Get you some Duke DPs. They're very easy. They're very efficient. You can be selective about the coons you catch and the coons you keep and the coons you release. You know, you're not only going to help the coon population, but you're going to help game animals as well. Until next time, as we always say, we're keeping the tradition alive here at Trapping Time. We're going to join up with my good friend Jason Webster from Webster's Predator Control. You know, Jason has built his reputation by catching all the easy animals. You've got the muskrats, you've got the raccoons, you've got the ducks, you've got the chickens. He caught 2 gerbils one time. There was that unicorn he was chasing. He caught 5 snipes, 4 pheasants, and a partridge and a parrot. If you liked what you saw, go to our Facebook page, Trapping Time TV, and let us know what you think. Or you can go to our website at trappingtimetv.com. The mice, the unicorns, there was that one time he caught a gerbil, there was 2 chickens and 3 ducks that he caught as well.